Yeah, Terry's ears are just cold. Okay, what a good light cameras. You guys keep me nice and warm. You guys keep me nice and warm. What you doing? What you doing? He's just coming. Boy, I don't think I have any Wi-Fi here. I'm not really sure. I'm looking here to see if this is actually working. I could be just sitting here all by myself, talking to myself. But I'm not by myself. I have a little bunny with me. I can't figure out how to get the questions to come up or anything else. So I will just ramble on, I guess. First, try to figure out how to. Okay, so you know I always say problems on top of problems. It seems that I went to a wake last night, and between my car and it was an open casket, and then back to my car, I lost my cell phone. And so I've been 24 hours without my cell phone. So I'm using Carlene's cell phone. And God knows, she's on I don't even know what network she's on, so I don't think she has Wi-Fi out here. But the good news is I did finally find my phone. I guess it fell out of my pocket in the parking lot. And when I went, yeah, so anyways, I have to go after this and go get my phone. So that's the good news. So I can't read any of the questions, but I do have a couple announcements to make. One of them is you might notice that I have a bunny on my lap. This is Moose. He's a good bunny. He's got little eyeballs there. This is Moose. And Moose is a Flemish giant. He's 2 years old. And he came from a breeder that was going out of business. And you might wonder why we took in extra rabbits. We have some sad news. Big bunny, Ziggy, has passed. Unfortunately, Ziggy got loose. Well, it was the frozen, it was a couple different scenarios that we didn't foresee, and it's very upsetting for me. But the door to the duck house was frozen. The snap was frozen, so somehow that played a factor in him being able to squeeze out and get loose in the early hours of the morning. And he got out in the pond area where, you know, the normal duck area, which is, in all intents and purposes, a bunny safe place for him to be. It has a 6-foot fence all around it. He's been out there for a really long time, and we've been very successful without anything coming in there. However, I miscalculated because I actually, this fall, put on a pair of waders, and I put in a fence, a wire mesh fence through the water, and that was about, I don't know, it was probably 4 feet, 5 feet. But I figured nothing would ever, if a predator has to swim through the water, then climb over this 4 foot. It probably had, oh well, I can tell you, it had about 2 feet above it, but it went through the water. And I started doing it when it was dry. It was in the dry summer. So it was about 2 feet in the water and then 2 feet above the water in the shallow end, so that the ducks couldn't swim away and predators would have to actually go through the water and then climb up over 2 feet and then back in the water and then swim across the rest of the pond. And that seemed to have kept everyone safe until the pond froze. And so the combination of Ziggy getting loose and the pond being frozen, he was murdered. Very upsetting about that. So, you know, we're farmers. We have to learn from it. You may have noticed that I moved we shut the gate so that they can no longer get down to the water. So if something were to get in to that area, they would at least have to climb up over the fence that is over by Donkey Cafe. So there's a gate there, there's a fence there that will prevent most animals from not being able to get into where the ducks and the rabbits and everything else were. However, I was worried about Sally and the chickens because they don't fly at all. And I was worried that something would still get into the pond, run across the pond, and then up over the fence. So we moved Sally and the 2 chickens over to live with the cows. They have a run-out area, although nothing should run out. It's too cold right now. So we moved Sally and the 2 chickens over there. And then we realized how important the bunny program is to Goldy's farm, even though I was devastated. It was awful. It was awful. You have to say that it's my fault that we are losing all these bunnies, because I'm doing what most people that have bunnies don't do. Most people that have bunnies keep them in a very, very confined space. And I refuse to do that because I like things to be free and to be able to run and be happy. And Ziggy, every day that little bunny had the best life. He would run around, he would eat the leaves, he, identified as a duck. But he was always a little bit, it's hard to keep the bunnies safe because they dig under things and they get loose. And so if I had kept him in a confined area, he would have had much less quality of life, but he'd still be around. So we've reevaluated our bunny program and we live right next to the forest. And this time of year, everything's a little hungry and coming to the farm to look for meals. So I think that we should actually give us a pat on the back that we've kept everything safe so far. But we're learning from the lesson, and we are now reevaluating the bunny program, which is very important. So we went, Elizabeth and I drove down to the Cape. There was a breeder that was getting rid of this, her breeding program of Flemish Giants. Again, Goldy's farm. This was just so remarkable. We're like, what are we going to do? We don't have any bunnies. We're thinking about going down and, to the local adoption shelter and getting something. And Elizabeth came across this post that on some Flemish Giant page. He's falling asleep. He's so tired. He's a good bunny. That a breeder was going out of business and desperately needed homes for bunnies. But by the time we got there, Moose and one other bunny were left. She's not getting out of the breeding. She's breeding a different kind of rabbit, an intercontinental or something, a bigger Flemish than Flemish Giant. He's falling asleep. He's such a nice bunny. He's keeping him warm. So we met Moose. We talked on the phone. She said he would be perfect, and he is perfect. He is a perfect little bunny. Of course, he's never going to actually be as perfect as my little bunny, but he's very good. He's very good. He's actually easier to handle, easier to pick up. He went on his first trip yesterday to Methuen, and I would show you the pictures, but they're in my phone, which, as I mentioned, is not with me. Problems on top of problems. I would show you the pictures, but I can't because they're in my phone. But I'll post them as soon as I'm reunited with my phone. And he's easy to pick up. However, when we went to go get him, that would leave one bunny by herself, and I don't like bunnies to be by themselves, especially we've talked to her and we've got him and we met him, and he was perfect. So we were like, all right, we'll take this one, and we picked him up and from his little cage, and to bring him. And I was like, well, what about the other bunny? How long have they been together? And she said, oh, they've been together for about a month. I'm like, well, he's probably bonded with her, and I don't want him to be like. I think Ziggy was, very, very happy by himself, but he was bonded. The other one's a girl, so he's pretty bonded with her. So we said, all right, we'll take the second one. So we get in the car, we get the second one, who is much bigger, and she's a little wild. She is a little wild. I should have. Maybe tomorrow I'll bring her. Because having a bunny on your lap in this cold room is kind of warming. So we get in the car, and literally we had to stop at IKEA because we were out running errands when Elizabeth and I were running errands and things when we got this notice about the bunnies in down the Cape, and it was easier for us to drive straight to the Cape than to go home, get a crate, and then drive to the Cape. And so we went to IKEA, which is a whole other problem. Can't get in and out of IKEA with Elizabeth without filling up the car. So the car gets full of stuff from IKEA, and we got a big plastic crate thing that we could put them in. I said, "Oh, bunny, it's so pretty." So then we get the boy bunny, we get the girl bunny, and they've been together for about a month. So we start driving home, and I'm like, what's the gestation period for bunnies? Elizabeth looks it up on the phone. She's like 30 days. So now, I guess we may be having bunny babies any day now, which is a little bit of a shocker. So we'll be dealing with that. And we decided what we'll do when we have all these bunnies is that we're going to start handling them from a very, very young age. And we're going to, because they are the easiest animals for Goldy's farm, because you just put them in a fancy little carriage and roll them around, and bunnies seem to really like it. Ziggy loved it. This guy loves it. He just got scratched. This guy actually ate carrots out of the senior's hands, and it's very easy. So I think if we start handling the bunnies from a young age, and then because it also said we could have between 8 and 12 bunnies. We'll just handle them, and then we'll offer them in pairs of two girls or two boys, with the requirement that they have to have a big and spacious, safe area to live. And we'll offer them to other nonprofits or people. I think there's a donkey loose. I can hear donkeys loose. Okay, we're not going to worry about that right now. What gate did I leave open? Speaking of, okay, so anyway, I can see donkeys. They're in the aisleway of the barn. How did they get out? Definitely donkeys. All right, well, we're not going to worry about that. So we will offer them to people that want to bring them to nursing homes and be good pets for them and continue the good work that Goldy's Farm does, which has always been kind of one of the things that on our back burner that we want to be able to do is train animals to do what we do, because once you get a bunch of trained animals going to nursing homes, there are nursing homes all over this country, all over the world that need animals to come and visit. So if we could do that, then that is, I think, a great benefit. I see Arthur and Dimitri right out the window for Goldy's Farm. So that's the update on all of that. And yeah, so I wish I could answer some questions. We had a job yesterday, the job today. They have this new flu that's going around that's pretty awful for people. So we opted out of the visit today. We have one tomorrow in Peabody, a new nursing home. And I'm still working on trying to get this pellet stove inspected, and I pulled out the generator, and we're putting it all together, and I won't leave until Carlene has a generator. So that's hopefully going to be a generator and a pellet stove that will be able to keep her warm when we lose power. We had a really miserably windy night last night, so really glad we took down that big tree, and I realized how easy it is to lose power. Can you guys hear those donkeys? I don't know what I'm going to do. I got to grab it. I'm not going to be able to catch these donkeys, but let me just go yell at them or see what the status hold on. Okay. I have an update on what's happening in the aisleway. Everybody's loose. I don't know how they got out. Because I just went down there. Maybe I started to feed them and I just opened the door and I got distracted by the buddy. So that's probably what happened. But that's all right. They're all in the aisleway. And there's nothing really good in the aisleway. And so I will be here probably till the weekend. And it's cold and it's icy and it's miserable and I can't believe I'm here again. I said last January, I hope I never spend another winter in Massachusetts, but it's seeming like just things are not wrapping up as quickly as I'd hoped. I need to be down there for the 6th, although I need to be here for the 6th. There's a court date on the 6th. But I do have Maria down in Aiken who's excited to continue. She can do the first job with the 2 dogs down there, and then if I don't make it for the 6th, so I'm still trying to figure that out. So that the departure date for me is TBD, to be determined. Isn't he a cute bunny though? Isn't he just really cute? He doesn't bite at all. Unlike Ziggy, he used to bite me all the time. But isn't he's just the best bunny? He's the best bunny. And wait till you see the pictures. He needs a little grooming, but wait till you see the pictures from yesterday. He was so good. He just sat there. He loves attention. And the other one, the mother, because she hasn't had babies yet, she's still not a mother. But the other rabbit is friendly, but she doesn't want to be picked up. So she needs a lot more handling. And yeah, so that's all we have going on other than to try to keep warm. I don't know if you guys can see the like ice skating rink all over the property and the frozen water buckets. Just winter just makes animals so much more difficult. But and it's it used to not bug me as much, but God, it's just frozen water buckets and frozen everything, including me. So I wish I was better prepared with my own phone, but seems I'm not. So if you have any questions, we'll be back tomorrow night for mail call. So we will continue on. All right, I'm going to go put Ziggy back and then catch some loose donkeys and get on with life. All right, so thanks for joining me. See you all soon. All right, guys, what's going on out here?